All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am your host for the next, I don't know, however long this thing takes. Oh, by the way, I'm the founder of Body Spartan. How did I forget that?
It's kind of a big deal.
I never forget that. And my co-host tonight, the wonderful, the lovely, the super long eyelashed, wonderfully dressed. I'm out of fucking accolades. I've said them all a million times. She's a master sports nutritionist, co-founder of Body Spartan, speaker at women's events, keynote speaker at women's events, author, former pro fitness competitor, mom, super mom, all that crap.
First lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft.
Don't sound too excited about that. Hang on, I got to drink my tea because I've been coughing and I got this raspy throat thing going on.
I'm so sorry. Do you guys have any idea how much that bothers me? Because when I was a little girl, my dad, we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, but when we went on vacation, we did it up. Okay, wait a minute. Big.
Did you really not have 2 pennies to rub together? Have you ever rubbed together 2 pennies? So annoying.
I actually have. It's
the
kind
weirdest,
of annoying.
It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. It's
true.
Terrible.
You're absolutely right. See, I kind of like the way that it feels a little bit because I'm like, I'm rich. I'm not broke. I have 2 pennies.
You know what? We are like 2 pennies because our third penny is missing tonight. Howard.
Our third penny.
Howard's missing tonight, guys.
I was going to say a story.
About Howie?
About how we do it big on my family vacation when I was a kid.
Oh.
And my dad would get a 6-pack of Coca-Cola.
Well, your dad was also a preacher.
And there was one for my dad, one for my mom, one for my sister, one for my brother. And my dad would hoard one. I don't even know where that thing went. And then there was one for the baby. And my dad would sip it down, and it sounded exactly the way that you would sip down your tea. And he would save me the very end of it. It would sound something kind of like this.
Was I supposed to do something?
Oh, I thought you were going to slurp it that way. See, he knows that it bothers me. And he would suck it down like that. And I knew my Coke was disappearing. And now I thank you. Thank you, Dad, for sucking down that Coke because it was no good for my body.
Which is so funny because today's topic is real foods versus supplements. And we're actually going to talk about some things like energy drinks later on. But back to Howie, who just couldn't make it tonight because you know what? Here, I'm just going to bury him right now. So yesterday, I sent him a text at 6:09 after we had confirmed the night before. We went and saw Hellboy the night before, which was, it was exactly what I expected it to be. It wasn't a great movie, but it was
good
Hellboy.
Guy time.
It was guy time. There's tons of blood and guts and sci-fi and, CGI. Mila Jovovich, I don't know, Resident Evil chick was in it. And, she's a fan favorite. We've watched her grow up. Watched her since I was a kid. She was already grown. This is awkward. Anyway, all-around good guy movie is what I was trying to say. But I text Howie, and I'm like, yo, dude, 7 or 7:30 for the podcast tonight. This was yesterday. And after we talked about confirming that we're going to do a podcast, and he's like, yo, let me get home. I just got home and I got to get home and eat, take a shower. I clocked out from a 13-hour day. I'm totally beat. Okay, Gabe says, no problem. Then we decide to reschedule for today, 3:34. Gabe to Howie. Podcast today? No response.
He's kind of off the hook, though, right now.
6:31 p.m. Podcasting in 10 minutes. Want to join? An immediate answer. Oh, can't. I'm prepping food extremely high.
But honestly, he's got a hall pass for at least a month.
I know.
He's been through it, man. The love of his life.
The true love of his life, not like these other dames that go in and out.
This being that he cried out to the divine for, materialized into his life, went to Bacon Land.
Howie had to, unfortunately, put down Hercules the other day.
Herky boy.
Herc was his bulldog.
Herky.
8 or 9 years, I think. Had him since he was the puppy, and the poor guy had cancer.
Sweetest dog. And he sounded like this.
Yeah, he would come over. I remember when he came over the first time and he was playing with our dogs, Herc was he was running around and then he's just laying on the ground, sprawled out. So, bulldogs, they just don't function normally. So when he's laying, it's like weird paws to the side. It just looks like a rug when he's laying there. You know how in cartoons you see rugs and their arms are out? But he's just like, and I just looked at him.
And that's how we knew he was alive.
Well, I looked at him and I was like, yo, so this is life for you? And Howard's like, yeah, pretty much, dude. This is how he is.
Actually,
all day
you're
long.
like, wow. So that's life for you.
Yeah, that's what
And everyone starts laughing because Gabe was like in his own little world. But it was really sweet because Howard actually used to work here out of the house, and he would bring Hercules with him. And one time, Hercules got left alone with our 4-year-old at the time, who promptly locked Hercules in the bedroom. And Hercules came out about 25 minutes later wearing jewelry, a tutu, a crown, and socks.
Yep.
And Hercules, like, you'd think that it'd just be like biting it off. You know, Hercules pranced up and down the hall, felt beautiful. Hercules felt great. I think we've got photos somewhere. Just Hercules was decked out, like straight up princess style. And Mia was so proud.
You know what?
And Hercules, they had some sort of bonding moment in her bedroom. And that dog came out a brand new being.
It is a non-binary world, so I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just going to say, hey, man, maybe he liked being trans for the day. So cool. Good for him. Yay.
I think Hercules just wanted to feel beautiful and make the world smile.
Well, he definitely did that. In other news, what's new? Oh, yes. I went to the races last weekend. I won a race. I got 2 second places. And in my third race, I crashed out. So it happens, guys. By the way, don't tailgate your fellow racers, because when they slam on the brakes, you might run into their rear tire and wash out, which is what I almost did.
So basically, I watched him walk away all high and mighty. He's like, all right, let's go have a race. It's going to be a race day. Comes home with a first place prize, super proud. Second place prize, super proud. And his bike.
Another second place prize.
And his bike in a little red wagon. And he comes
pretty much
walking down the street with his bike in a wagon, in pieces, head hanging. But he's like, oh, at least I got a trophy.
True story, man.
A
plastic trophy. Three
do
plastic
you just
trophies.
imagine him like all dejected, hanging his head with his motorcycle in the wagon? And
well, you know what I'm getting at with this is that we all know that I'm into motorcycle racing right now because, and I'll segue to other things because this the podcast people have not heard about what's going on with me, but with racing, it's so intense. There's so much training that happens, so much adrenaline, so much cardio that's involved. I mean, it's a workout, man. It's crazy. It's a whole workout in its own. We had Jason Uribe on the podcast a couple weeks ago. He kind of explained that in a 22-lap race, his heart rate averages about 185 beats per minute. For anybody that doesn't know, that is about a full freaking sprint the whole time. Dude has to be in the best shape of his life consistently. And he was super shredded.
And if you guys haven't heard that podcast, it's 2 podcasts back. It's absolutely phenomenal because at the end of the podcast, it's a complete twist where we find out that he actually cut off his finger so that he could race. You guys got it. Go back and listen to that podcast.
Yeah, so next time you guys are sitting there going, oh, amazing. My back hurts. Or,
cut off your back and keep working.
I'm sore from my last workout. I don't want to get up. My legs hurt. I can't walk. Just remember, Jason Uribe cut off his fucking finger so that he could race. And that's a whole story in itself. So, in other news, and excuse my voice, again, I've been coughing consistently because of this stupid bronchitis thing I had. Why is Taya? I hear my dog yelping and crying. What is going on with her? Anyway, so my voice is a little raspy.
I think that we should open up the refrigerator and give her pretty much whatever she wants tonight.
I'm cool with that. I made an announcement on Facebook, on a Facebook Live recently. It was this week, just to kind of let everybody know what's going on. We talked about Forge 5. Well, we got some cool announcements, actually. Let's talk about Forge 5 first. Forge 5 has been slightly delayed. It's still coming out in May, but there's a good reason for it. David Larson, our INBA pro, you guys all know Davey, number 5 in the world for bodybuilding, natty bodybuilding. Dude, his work has just taken over his life, and he is unable to film our Forge 5 project, Forge 5X project, which is our new program coming out 5 days a week, 50 minutes a day. 5 exercises per workout. You get Saturdays and Sundays off. 2 days back-to-back off. And it's a combination of keto intermittent fasting, carb-focused intermittent fasting, and keto deficit intermittent fasting. I mean, the program is just insane.
Basically, it's a weekend warrior protest. The people that only come to the gym on Saturdays and Sundays? Weekend warrior protest is what this really is.
Well, think about it this way. The way that we decided to do this was, okay, Everybody's got their 9 to 5s, and everybody wants their weekends off, and everybody wants to shred and bulk simultaneously. Well, guess what? We figured out how to do that. And a lot of it revolves around the science of intermittent fasting. But why is Forge 5 delayed? It is because we have found an incredible replacement for David Larson. He's been with us since day one. He's not a man.
He's not a woman.
He's not a woman, no. He's a machine. He is the fucking machine. That sounded so bad. I'm just going to say effing machine because it sounds like something you get on a triple X site. The fucking machine.
Return it.
Brian motherfucking Cage is doing Forge 5 for us. That's right, guys. So you have seen Cage in a lot of our workouts. You've seen him with us with CT Fletcher. He's been with us since day one of Body Spartan. It's going to be his knowledge being dropped on you. What are you laughing at?
I never thought of the effing machine.
Brian,
oh my gosh.
the fucking machine.
No, I've heard the effing machine like all the time, and I don't even think about it because I know he's like a machine. He's like an Energizer bunny. He just keeps going. He's never off of his diet. He's never messing around on his diet.
Machine with a long handle and a dildo on the end. Like,
but I never thought.
Lonely ladies, this is your call.
Forge 5.
We're
here for you.
Dropped my tea bag. Speaking of, I'm drinking tea.
This podcast is ruined.
Ruined. Oh, it's just all wet.
So we're going to get into content or what?
I will, but we have to make the announcement. We have to let people know that Forge 5, first of all.
No, you can't tell them.
What?
No, just don't say it.
Come on.
A little bit. Tell them a little bit.
Forge 5.
No, don't say it.
Coming out in May. Is only available on the All Access Pass, as will be every new program going forward. By the way, Christina Williams, our IFBB Pro competitor, is currently in the process of filming Rev 2, which is Revolution 2. It's the sequel. Do we do that? Like program sequels? Is that what these are? They're sequels.
Well, basically, there have been so many incredible results on Revolution. You ladies are killing it. And you keep on doing the same program over and over and over. I got a message from a Crystal Gonzalez, and she is down 65 pounds. She just keeps doing Revolution over and over and over. So Christina and I have put our heads together and come up with something that's going to blow your freaking mind. A lot of us are stay-at-home moms. A lot of us want to lift before our family wakes up. And this allows you to do it at home without actually having to get inside of a vehicle. Actually, a lot of you are single moms. You're crushing it. You're my heroes. This is for you. You don't have to leave your home. You can let your 2-year-old sleep while you're downstairs crushing your workout before they even open up their eyys so that they can take over your home.
Yep.
This is what they do.
In-home program. So
exactly.
We've been filming. It's actually been kind of funny. We have a package that you'll get with it when you'll have to buy a couple of very small things. With Rev 2, a small set of bands and a Bosu ball. It's really, really easy to get
Basically,
those.
we're having you buy a gym so that you can have it at your house always. And you can use it in the hotel room. This is what Christina and I do when we travel. We bring these bands with us. Or I'll sling them over my shoulder, throw them in a bag, go running somewhere beautiful out in nature. And I will do this workout by the water.
But what I wanted to get at is when we were filming it, Christina was doing side squats on the Bosu ball, like jump lunges, and she kept forgetting her count. And this is a live workout we're doing. So ladies, you will be following along every single rep with Christina. Poor Christina lost count about 5 or 6 times on one set. So we had to reshoot the entire thing 5 or 6 times.
Screw these college degrees.
I'm saying,
like seriously, what were we even thinking?
I don't know, because poor girl worked so hard for
yes, we have kinesiology degrees.
2.
No, we cannot count.
Anyway,
I'm not a mathematician.
This is going to be on the All Access Pass available to you. We're planning on Rev 2 coming out in June. I'm also currently working on the Big Arm Bible 2. This is like sequel day, guys. I don't know what to call Big Arm Bible 2, but maybe it's the Apocryphy. Oh, Big Arm Bible 2, the Apocryphy.
Or just Apocryphy. Or Apothecary.
But then I don't have big arms in it.
Then you could...
What big arm... I don't know. I'm out of...
Babs 2.
Babs 2. Let's call it Babs. These will all be on the All Access Pass. And of course, one more. We're promising you guys at least 4 a year.
Don't tell them the next part. You can't.
Here's the
They're
killer
not ready
part.
for it, Gabe.
I have finally...
No. Oh, he's going to say it. No.
Oh. Showing her my O face.
No, you could go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
I've finally figured out with my programmer how to get our free trials going. And I'm so excited about it.
You're
we have
welcome.
a 7-day free trial of the All Access Pass. Finally, we did it.
What's Mia's little Moana video? You're welcome.
You're welcome. I don't know. It's the I know all the words. I'm just embarrassed.
Okay, let's see how many of the words you do know.
I've actually forgotten because it's been so long. But if I heard the song, I could totally sing along.
Well, how does it start?
I don't remember. That's the problem. Probably you're welcome.
The
point is there's a 7-day free trial of the All Access Pass available on the site now. It's on our homepage. All you got to do is go there and click on it. Use the code. This is our special code. You ready? It's AAP10 at checkout. That's short for All Access Pass. AAP10 at checkout, and you will get $10 off your monthly subscription. You get access to every single Body Spartan program we've ever made, all the upcoming programs forever, and the Spartan motherfucking army. That is our weekly content section where you get a standalone workout that is unrelated to any one of our programs. So if you are in between programs or you just want a new workout, you can go there and check those out. You get a fitness tip from one of our pros like David Larson, Christina Williams, myself, Priscilla, Brian Cage, and our newest addition, Danny Broadhurst, our NPC competitor who's going for the USAs this year. You will get a motivational video every week, and then once a month we do a cooking show and show you how to make some shit. But we got a massive archive of over a year's worth of content, year and a half now worth of content of
We've
every
got
week.
Vegan recipes.
So
We've
much
got
stuff.
keto recipes. We've got tons of Unleashed recipes.
You get access to all that stuff, and you can try it all 7 days for free. Plus, use AAP10. This is where we're heading, guys.
We will also like you on Facebook. Just kidding.
We will. Our goal is to always bring you the best possible content. You know, Priscilla, you mentioned something earlier. We started Body Spartan by not asking for a thing, and I always told everyone that was in this with me that I'm not in it for the money. And of course, it's become a business, and it's become our main hustle.
Because you guys made it that way. Like when we first started, we sold nothing. And you guys would donate money. We weren't asking for anything. You would force it on us. And you're like, put forth a program. Make this, show me what to do step by step. Give me the diet. Give me the workout. Show me all this stuff. And we're like, sorry, we don't have anything like that. Just watch our workouts. Read our blogs. You demanded this of us. And so that's the only reason we even started a profit center. And we ended up changing millions and millions and millions of lives, because the more you have purchased these programs, the more we're able to expand this business and offer you more free freaking content, which is amazing.
Like always, I'm always putting the money back into the business. And that's why we're always growing and always bringing you guys new stuff. But with the All Access Pass, here's what I want to do. I want to be like the Netflix and Hulu of fitness. That is my goal.
And what you're really trying to do is make our CPA mad because he's furious right now. He's like, what are you thinking? Stop it. Because it doesn't pencil for us.
No, we're taking a huge loss by doing this, actually. It should pencil in the long run, but by doing this, we're taking a massive
He's not
monetary
happy.
loss.
And I'm the one that has to deal with it. Gabe just does whatever the frick he pleases. And I'm like trying to dot I's and cross T's behind him. It's ridiculous.
Here's what I did. I did the math, and I'm like, okay, we have X amount in our current capital. Like, if this is business stuff for anybody who wants to know business, we got X amount in the bank. And if everything goes correctly, we should be out of the red and into the black, which means we're not losing money anymore, and we're holding or making a little bit of money before we run out of money completely. So that's kind of what I've calculated, and I'm banking on that.
No, you just decided that, but meanwhile, thank you for leaving me with our CPA who is punching holes in the wall. I appreciate that.
The point is, guys, I really want to be the Netflix, the Hulu of fitness, and we have such a large library of programs. And what I was seeing consistently on social media, so all the Facebook messages, all the emails, I would see people go, oh, you know, is there a discount? Is there this? And, you know, our programs are worth $100 a pop. No questions asked. When you do the math on a $100 program, that's $33 a month. Most of our programs are 12 weeks long. $33 a month. That is not that bad. That works out to, what's 7 divided by 31? I don't know.
Again, kinesiology, not math.
$4 a day. $7 was $8 a week, barely $8 a week. Basically what it boils down to. You can't hire a personal trainer for $8 a week. And literally, we are your personal trainer when you do one of our programs because we have all the instructional videos.
Have you thought about that calculation before? That's really interesting.
Did it. I need to put that up on one of our ads or
it
just
makes
explain
sense.
that. $8 a week. People pay $60 to $200 a session for a personal trainer.
When I owned my personal training gym, do you remember my hourly rate?
Oh, well, it depends.
$350 per hour.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like your trainer.
$350 per hour for a personal training session.
And here's the thing. I mean, you can, and that is because you're worth it, but you go to a place.
Well, they're like, we saw you in the magazine. We want to work out with you.
Let's say you go to like 24-hour fitness, and I'm not going to try to throw these guys under the bus because I used to work out there, and you never know. I never want to burn any bridges, but you look at that. Most of the trainers at our local 24-hour fitness, they go and they get their certification in a weekend. They don't look the part. They don't act the part. And they're literally there as a job.
I don't know about a weekend.
No, they get their ACE certifications in like a weekend.
But they still have to study and get ready for it. Those are hard.
It doesn't matter. The point is that they go.
But you're like, it doesn't matter.
Here's what I saw. They went and they read a book. They read a book for a week. They studied. They took a test. Oh, you're a personal trainer. You're qualified to go look at everybody and figure out how to help them get to their goals safely, how to do all this stuff. And the crazy part is, unless you're a licensed sports nutritionist or a dietitian, you cannot write a diet. So you can't actually give out nutritional information.
You can write it, just not legally.
Well, okay. And so the point is, nutrition is a huge part of any type of physique transformation, a massive part. So much so that our topic today is real food versus supplements. We're going to get to that. But you go hire a personal trainer and you pay at 24, it's like $60, $70 an hour, something like that.
I wonder what their going rate is. I actually don't know.
It could be more than that. I think it was 60 or 70 bucks for an hour of a personal trainer's time. That usually doesn't have a lot of information. There are some people that train that know what they're doing.
The smallest amount out of that.
But I would say the percentage is, maybe 10% of those trainers actually know what they're doing. They didn't walk the walk for years. They haven't been doing this for 25 years like I have. And you're barely 25 years old, Priscilla. So I don't know how long you've been doing it. 20 years old. They definitely aren't pro fitness competitors like you. They weren't featured in Muscle Mag.
My real age the other day in front of Mia, and she's like, "No, mommy, you're 18."
Oh God, that.
And I was like, "Oh, oops! I've been telling you I'm 18 for exactly 7 years of Anyways.
Yeah, well, circling back, that is funny, but I'm so on a roll here. I got to finish this. These personal trainers, their goal is to bring you back and get more sessions out of you, not to get you to your ultimate goal. And even if they try to get you the goal 9 out of 10 times, dude, I would watch people. I was there for, 7 years almost. I was at 24-hour fitness here in Roanoke Park, and I watched the same people get trained over and over and over again and not make any changes. And it's that way at every freaking gym. It literally is. So people are dumping out 60, 70, all the way up to $350 an hour. And here we are.
Can I state
$8 a week is what it would cost you to be on one of our programs. That's asinine. And now what we've done is we've got it all the way down to a 1 month price that breaks down to what's $5 a week. Come on, guys.
I am going to do a disclaimer. I'm sorry. We always are going to be honest on this podcast and speak our mind. That's what makes it so fun, right? There are definitely trainers that are knowledgeable at 24-hour. I know quite a few actually at our local gym. And there are so many that just freaking love these people. And whether their bodies change or not, it's human connection and it's keeping somebody fit and moving. So I just want to have a disclaimer on that because I felt like that was very generalized. Yes, we are more affordable. And yes, we will actually get results guaranteed.
I agree.
However,
I agree. There are good trainers there, but what I'm saying is that they're in the minority. It's the average person that goes there. You're playing roulette. Will you get the one or two?
Have we done an episode on what to look for? I think it was one of our first ones. What to look for in a personal trainer.
I don't think we. I said we did one on how to do what to look for in a gym, but not what in a personal trainer.
Because here's what I was going to say. If you guys want to see it, post on
Facebook, IG.
Yeah,
Snap.
Let us know, because if that's a topic you want us to cover, or if there's another topic you want us to cover, we're here for you guys. So let us know.
Here is the big picture: is that why get a personal trainer when you have Body Spartan? You've got all of the pros right here at your fingertips, designing programs, literally being in front of the camera, showing you every tweak, every how they do every single exercise down to the minute detail that they would be showing you in a gym. And you're not going to get this kind of stuff from random personal trainers. You're going to get all the nutritional information, custom macros, because Priscilla is a licensed master sports nutritionist. It's customized for you. We run everything through our formula for every program so that your macros are perfect. You know exactly what to eat. We always have preseason videos where we talk about what the program is, what to expect. We've got a nutritional video. We got goal setting videos. We got motivation, all the stuff that we would do with a client if I was training you personally. This is the closest thing you can get to having us next to you while you're in the gym.
I wonder what your hourly rate would be now. I mean, people
what
pay.
my hourly rate is.
What is it, like $600 an hour?
I don't know.
When you buy a package of 12 sessions,
$3,500 a month for direct personal.
And you're not even in the gym working out with them.
No. So whatever the math is on that, that's what the value is right now. But anyway, the point is, $5 a week is what it boils down to. So go try that all access pass. Please, guys, if you have one of our programs, you've been dying to try another one, 7-day free trial, bodyspartan.com. AAP10 is the code to get you $10 off per month. If you don't like it after 7 days, just cancel it. But I promise you guys, we're going to make it worth your while. We're promising you at least 4 programs every single year. You know me, you know P. We go way above and beyond every time we deliver, and it's just fucking phenomenal. So,
and we do have our cancellation policy, but let me tell you this: nobody ever cancels.
I haven't seen a cancellation deep, dude. Like,
it just
once
doesn't happen.
You're on, and it's just like, yo, dude, we've got all the stuff we could possibly want.
Why? Because people are finally getting results. They're like, nothing works for me, and we're like, oh yeah.
I literally just answered 10 Facebook messages just now about people just getting started, or I've been doing this and I haven't gotten results. A lot of it had to do with food. Let's jump into today's topic, which is real food versus.
Have a nice day. Come again.
You know that meme of the dog with the funky teeth, the wiener dog? He's like, please stop. That's how I feel right now. Real food versus supplements. Which one wins? And of course, you're going to know what I'm going to say. I'm a huge proponent of...
Don't give it away.
Okay, I won't.
It's too early in the show. Don't tell it.
Well, here's the thing. The supplement industry is like a $30 billion industry. There's a lot of supplements out there, and there's a lot of money at stake. And most people...
You're a vegan.
Actually have some stats
You're talking
down
about
here.
steak. Is it still at stake if you're a vegan?
What was it?
Beyond
if
steak.
If 2 vegans are arguing, is it still a beef?
Mock beef. I think they're having a mock beef. They're having a mock
steak. Let's look at this.
Let's see what's at mock steak.
A $30 billion industry is the supplement industry. And what I've noticed over the years of being here at Body Spartan and looking at every comment, every Facebook message, every Instagram message, every snap, every phone call that we get, is that people are overusing supplements. And there are some things that we need to talk about, guys. We need to have a come to Jesus moment about sups. And I'm going to explain why 4 shakes a day.
We're here on Resurrection Weekend.
Oh my gosh.
To bring you to Jesus right now. Y'all better sit your butts in the seat and listen up.
Tomorrow's Easter Sunday.
This is Resurrection Weekend. So you better get your butts in your seats and listen to what we have to say.
What did that have to do with any? I don't know.
It totally didn't.
I just wanted to talk like that and be all hallelujah.
I wanted to be hashtag preach.
Hashtag preach. Well, check this out. I want to get back to the beginning when we started this podcast, like episodes 1 through 10, where I always had these cool studies that I looked up. And we do a great job of getting bullet points and talking about all these other things. But we haven't done like a good scientific podcast for a while.
Scientifically speaking.
Just published on April 9th. 2019 in the Annals of Internal Medicine, there was a decade-long observational study of more than 30,000 people. And it basically finds that certain vitamins and minerals may help extend your life and keep you from dying of cardiovascular disease. But, and I say but, only if you get those beneficial nutrients from foods and not supplements. The kicker is that people that took more supplements. So, well, let's go back. There's some stats here. Let me see if I can find it. I put it in here. It actually showed how many people died. Oh, I didn't put that in there. Gosh darn it. It was like 6,000. Yeah, the mortality rate was 6,400, 6,300 people died over the 10 years. What they found is that there wasn't just a lack of benefits from supplements. it found potential harms. Getting high doses of things like calcium from supplements, but not foods, was linked to higher cancer mortality risks. And people taking vitamin D supplements who didn't have vitamin D deficiencies may have higher risks of what they call all-cause mortality rates and from cancer. So all-cause would be just whatever reason they died. A lot of these supplements are high in calcium, high in other things, but it also kind of begs the question, why supplements versus real food? And what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because I know how you work. And I know that you've got a trajectory with the study that you're stating.
I always have a
But
trajectory.
it's really interesting.
It's usually at your face.
It's really interesting because...
I was talking about my words, guys. I know where you're going with that.
For those of you that are not aware, I see and feel energy in a way that's very different than most human beings. And I can see inside people's body and give them a medical diagnosis based on the things that I visually see through their skin. And I see capsules intact swimming around that are never dissolved. And I remember I saw it the other day, not the other day, I guess it was like 5 weeks ago. And I saw vitamin D and I saw calcium swimming around in someone's body. I'm like, what the heck? What are you taking? And I describe the pill. They take me to the cupboard. They show me the exact pill that I saw. I say, stop taking it. By the way, Costco brand was one of them. The other one I had never heard of. It was like something Balance or something like that. I'm like, stop taking that. That's swimming around in your body. And then I remembered a week later that when I was studying for my nutrition exam, for my state board exam, they said that 65% of cadavers are opened up and they find pills intact in the digestive tract, which means that you either pee them or poo them out before ever assimilating the quote unquote nutrients, minerals, vitamins that are supposedly ingested.
Especially the hard...
I mean, they're not supposedly ingested. They're definitely ingested.
But
whether they're assimilated or not.
The hard caps, like the multivitamins. Like I know a lot of guys take, I think they take the animal packs, and I'm pretty sure one of them is a hard multivitamin capsule. That's been the biggest bullshit of all times. There's only a small percentage of that capsule that is basically digested, and a tiny percentage of the vitamins actually get into your system. And what the research is showing here is that there is a unknown connection between ingesting real food and longevity and health. But here's the thing that I found. Way back when I was designing the Unleash program, I stopped. I was that guy that was doing 3 shakes a day, and I would put everything in it. I put my creatine and my beta alanine and I'm like fucking glutamine and just like everything in a shake because I didn't want to eat. It was so inconvenient to eat. I was like, I'll just pack a bunch of shakes.
And the studies that we were reading at the time, it showed that this was the very best thing for us to do.
Yeah, and the muscle milk came out. So I was buying tons of muscle milks in the cartons.
And then EAS, we were so high on EAS back before they became mass marketed and distributed in wackaways.
I mean, I can't blame...
It was solid.
I cannot blame Bill Phillips for doing that because...
We love him.
He's great. And
he sold the company. Well, that's when it went cuckoo, bananas.
The dude made money. You can't be mad at a guy that went and made money.
But all he did was sell it. Before he sold it, those products were pretty solid. Like Myoplex, you and I lived off that when we were real young.
This is what we're getting at, though.
Yeah.
I lived off of that stuff. I bought into the advertisements.
Every day before the gym.
Did I gain muscle? Yeah, but I was also working out harder than everybody else. I was also doing a ton of cardio, and I was also new to the whole serious lifting kind of thing. So my body is making these neurological connections, what we call the mind-muscle connection.
Placebo.
It's partially placebo for sure. But anytime you make a new neurological connection from the mind to the muscle, you're going to get growth. And so I was doing all these different exercises.
Can you break that down for them? Because I feel like that is so paramount and people might brush over it because it's an intense concept. So the mind muscle connection, why is that so important?
So your muscles are dead. They're directly... I can't even talk. This has been 2 podcasts where I'm just stumbling over my words. Muscles, they run on neurological energy. They're basically electrical connections, electrical impulses that are sent via nerves and synapses. And your brain tells your muscles when to contract and when to relax. When you go to the gym and you do an exercise and you pull the weight away from your chest or towards you. Let's say you're doing a lat pull down. This is a great one. So you're on a lat pull down machine. You grab a wide grip and you do what you think is a lat pull down. If you're a beginner, you're just going to pull that bar down towards your chest, that kind of looks like what you saw a bigger, more in shape guy do on IG or on Snap. That's pretty much, I mean, seriously, that's what you're going to guess. And you'll notice the first time you do it, it's kind of wobbly and you're not sure which way to, you kind of try to do it. You can't use a whole lot of weight.
Your stabilizer like,
well, you're pulling with your back, your back's kind of rocking back and forth, and you're not using that target muscle group specifically. You're using your lower back to swing a little bit. You're using some of your delts and your rear delts, and you're probably using your neck because you're moving all around. And I mean, there's all these other muscles that are engaged until you learn to stabilize your core, arch your back, pin your shoulders back, restrict all the movement except for engaging your rear delts and mostly your lats and your rhomboid. Those are the three that are used when you're doing a lat pull down. You watch any seasoned athlete in the gym and they do a lat pull down. It's a very controlled movement. Minimal swinging, no jerking. They're pulling with their elbows as if there's a cable attached to the back of their elbows, to the middle of their behind their back, and they pull very intently and they activate those specific muscles. Now, I got to a point when I was able to, if you watched me lift back before, I didn't even talk about, geez, I totally sidebarred. By the way, guys, I can't lift right now. I have to have heart surgery at the end of the year. I'm not allowed to lift. There we go. I covered it. We'll get back to that later. Back when I could.
Or maybe we won't.
I don't know. I could lift. You guys would notice in a lot of the videos, I would close my eyes because one day I figured out that if I close my eyes, I could actually picture the muscle group firing. I could see somehow in my head, everything would be black, but I could get a visual on my body and it would light up like orange or red when I was activating that specific muscle group. So anytime I would flex something, I'd see kind of orange or red, and I have this 3D visual in my head of what I was doing. And I honestly, in my personal opinion, I think I was able to see the neurological connection from the brain, from the mind, to those muscles and those muscles firing. And everything else that wasn't firing was cold. It was like black or blue or dark and just really didn't matter. What I'm getting at is that when you learn to contract only the targeted muscle group, you're going to work those muscles a lot harder than if you're engaging multiple muscle groups in compound movements. And now you're getting a full range of motion on your lats, your rear delts, your rhomboid, and you're allowing yourself to fatigue those muscle fibers and exhaust them beyond what you usually would compared to when you're just starting. So when you make that mind-muscle connection, your brain says, okay, we need to grow these stabilizer muscles. We need to grow the core muscles because you're putting a certain amount of stress on the core, on your abs. Once that muscle grows and you stabilize, you'll notice the next time you get on the lat pull down machine, it's a lot easier to kind of not shake in your stomach and you don't swing as much. Okay.
And stabilizers also keep you from getting injured. So when you're lifting,
Yes.
That's why it's good if you're wobbly in the beginning, because your stabilizers are firing and they're pumped. They're like, yes, let's do this. And once those are firing and they're strengthened, then you can move on to this muscle mind connection that Gabe's talking about.
What happens is when you make a neurological connection, you begin to grow muscle. Your brain says, okay, we need to add muscle here because there is a certain amount of tension being placed on this muscle group, and we have to compensate for that. And that's why people reach plateaus. If you do the same thing over and over again with the same weight, you stop building muscle. That's why you got to add weight, and you got to add reps, you got to add volume, and you got to reduce your rest times. You got to switch your training style from high reps to low reps and work type 1 and type 2 muscle fibers. This is a lot of science, but basically what happens is when you change things up and you make a new neurological connection, you grow more muscle.
Okay, so
That's the short version.
understand that this is a metaphor for life. If you stay stagnant and you're drinking the same darn coffee every day and you're taking the same route to work and you're eating the same breakfast and you're doing the same thing every single day, you're too comfortable. You're not growing. Every week, decide to take massive action that makes you uncomfortable. That's how you grow. Same as the muscles.
I almost walked outside without pants on 2 days ago. That made me uncomfortable.
And it creates new neurological patterns. It doesn't matter. If you're doing something that is different, that is outside the norm, you're creating a new pattern, a new neurological pattern. And so maybe you should walk. I think you should do it right now.
Well, I have a podcast to do. Otherwise, I totally would. I totally do.
How do we get this thing outside with us? Because I want to see you walk around without pants on.
You've already done that. We've already been out in the front yard at the tree together without clothes on in the middle of the night until a cop came and shined his light near us and we had to run inside. There you go. There you have it. There's the story of us in the front yard. We're done.
Actually, I did see Gabe go bolting down the street, 280 pounds of pure billowing muscle, chasing after the Chihuahua in nothing but his underwear. That was magical.
At least
that
I
created new neurological pathways
on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it'd be really cool, Priscilla. Dude, it'd be crazy if you just jumped out of the car and streaked down to the house. Okay, clothes come off. We are 2 blocks from our house. New Year's Eve last year. Priscilla running bare ass butt motherfucking naked down our street. Like, I'm talking boobs out, butt out.
No,
and she was doing like the happy hop too.
I had to hold them.
The happy hop.
The happy hop.
It was like a skip kind of thing.
Well, when you're barefoot, you're running down the street and you're free as a bird. It just, that was very freeing, except for the fact that I kind of had to hold things together because I had no sports bra, because you don't run with a sports bra after certain bra size. There's things would be slapping you in the face, knocking you out. Anyways, new neurological patterns.
Back to Unleash. Here's what I was getting at is that I was a 3-day.
How are we telling these stories?
A 3-time-a-day shake guy because I hated freaking eating food. I'm all, I'll just shove down supplements and blah, blah, blah. I was always gassy. I was always having I just felt gross all day long internally in my stomach. And what happened is when I made the change from drinking a bunch of shakes and eating a bunch of bars throughout the day, I used to buy every bar on the planet. When I got tired of shakes, I started making huge improvements. I would macro out my meals. I would meal prep, and I stopped taking virtually all food supplements.
Can we have a gas moment here? I want to say that tooting is not normal. You should not be expelling a bunch of gas all day long. That is a sign that you are not digesting properly. It's a sign that you are eating too much in one sitting. It is a sign that you are eating the wrong foods. It is a sign that you're not drinking enough water. It's a sign that you're emotionally misaligned. You should not be gassy.
You're absolutely right.
You're welcome.
One of the things you get when you down a bunch of whey protein is you get a bunch of fucking gas. And
You're welcome.
Everybody knows what a protein fart is. I mean, they're just rancid.
Protein fart. I don't miss
sulfur,
that.
Sulfur, rotten egg in the car. You got, dude, remember a trip down to LA and we were going?
No, please remind me.
Just a Lincoln Navigator full of bodybuilders, just constant protein farts the whole way down. It was so
But see, that's
bad.
not normal.
It's not. And what happened is when I switched over to real food and I started having real food and I ditched all the supplements, I started getting serious muscle mass gains that I hadn't gotten in a long time. And I was doing everything very similarly. And I go, oh my God, I just switched to real food and I started gaining muscle mass.
It's so funny because people are always asking us, they're like, what protein do you recommend? We're like, eggs. What protein do you recommend?
Eggs.
Yeah. Egg whites, liquid egg whites. We take liquid egg whites, pasteurized liquid egg whites, and that's how we make our shakes.
Yeah. And I've said this before, and it's actually one of my bullet points here is that the biological value of an egg is 100, and so it's called BV. It's one of the most commonly used and is, I guess you could say it's arguably the best measure of a protein's quality. So BV is based on how much of the protein consumed is actually absorbed and used by the body. The higher amount of protein, basically nitrogen, that is actually retained, the greater the biological value. So if a protein has a biological value of 100, like an egg, it means that all the protein absorbed has been utilized with 0 lost. So whole eggs score the highest of all foods with a score of 100. And then you got beans, for example, which have a BV of only 49. Now, whey protein has a very high BV. It's between 109 and 100. I think 49 is what it is. It's actually higher than an egg. So it's partially digested, the whole 9 yards. But here's the biggest problem with supplements. You don't know what's fucking in them. You do not know what's in them. The FDA does not go by and regulate supplements. It does not regulate protein, does not regulate dietary supplements. You can pretty much advertise whatever the fuck you want. And nobody goes into the lab and checks and goes, okay, cool. You're within 1% of what your advertised rate is per scoop. That doesn't happen.
You don't really know what you're getting ever.
No, you have no idea what you're getting.
You have an educated guess, maybe.
And when you really sit down and think about it, and I mean, there is a massive amount of people that are on supplements on a daily basis, including protein. I mean, it's pretty much a food that people ingest nowadays. It's way up there. How does the FDA not regulate that? They regulate everything else so keenly, but they don't regulate what's in protein. And I was having trouble finding the study. I'd mentioned it in our earlier podcast. And in one of the podcasts earlier, I think it was we mentioned the best supplements, that you could get the 5 best supplements for your money.
Yeah.
In that one, I actually quoted a study that was done. It was somewhere back in like New York or New Jersey, where a bunch of college kids at a university, they tested the BCAA content of the 5 top proteins. And they found, I'm talking major brands, and I don't want to name names because we're still in talks with some of these companies.
We're not calling names.
That happen to produce some protein, but I'd like to do business with them for other things. The point is, dude, some of them
and some of their proteins are good.
40 or 50% less than the advertised BCAA rate per scoop. Major chains and franchises. I'm like, yo, dude, you think you're getting this much and you're really getting this.
And how much can your body even really assimilate? I remember you taking scoop after scoop after scoop when we were kids, and you just like dump it in there. Your body has no capability of assimilating 90 grams of protein in one sitting.
Let me back up. And you wonder why pro bodybuilders get the way that they do.
And they fart a lot.
It boils down to insulin. And that's one of those things that, you know, we always promise to be totally transparent on this podcast. Let's talk about insulin. When your insulin is...
And we're not talking about all bodybuilders. We're saying some.
Well, because
overgeneralization is foolish. And so we're saying some of them.
When you spike with SLIN, you basically can exponentially absorb everything that's in your system. And it gets shuttled to the right location. Excess, of course, will get turned into fat at a rapid rate. So that's a lot of bodybuilders will take insulin to digest 90 grams of protein.
And guess what? It's not very safe.
It's super unsafe. Because here's what happens. Because when you, if you don't have the proper amount of carbohydrates in your system, if you inject insulin into your body, and there's a ratio, there's a formula for it, specifically for bodybuilders. If you inject insulin, depending on what type of insulin you use, some of them are short acting, some of them are long acting, and it comes over a period of a couple hours. You can feel it in as soon as, I think, like 30 minutes. If you don't have enough carbs in your system already,
wait for it,
you can go into a diabetic coma. Basically, your blood sugar drops super fast. You get shaky. Before you can get food in your mouth, you will pass out. Your blood sugar will drop so low, your heart will stop, and you'll be gone.
I mean, no big deal, though.
Super dangerous.
I mean, it's just whatever,
That's
right?
just bodybuilding.
But seriously, like some of these guys, they know what they're doing. So don't just like listen to these ideas and be like, oh, I'm going to try that because I can take in more protein. I'm going to get big. You guys, there's an element of risk that is like really big.
Also, we're not judging anybody. If you're out there and you're using SLIN, good for you, man.
Know what you're doing.
Yeah,
know what you're doing, though. Be educated.
Smart about it. I can't endorse any of this stuff on the podcast, of course.
I mean, we can.
I just don't want to get into legal trouble. So I'm just going to say, look, I can't endorse that. But you know what? We're not judging. And we're just saying,
no.
We're just saying there is a major risk. I'm just talking about it for entertainment purposes only.
Just be safe, you idiots.
Anyway, all that to be said, we started making crazy gains when we switched to real food. We started ditching the supplements. So literally the only supplements that I currently use, well, not anymore because I can't even take supplements right now. I got a sidebar, guys. I just want to let you know, for anybody that missed the Facebook Live this week, I went to Stanford University because we all know that I've had some things with my heart. You guys have seen me in the Facebook Lives and in photos. I'm down to 230 pounds. I am not allowed to lift weights. We did a CT scan recently, and I have what's called an aortic aneurysm. So basically, the inside of my aorta is growing. And what happens if I don't get it taken care of, it'll eventually grow to the point where it splits and I bleed out and die. So I have basically been told, you can keep living the way you're living, no lifting weights, and we got to monitor your blood pressure and do all these things because the higher your blood pressure gets, the more risk you are at having that tear and you die. And you can live that way, maybe 10, 15 years and you got to have surgery. Or you can elect to do it sooner and go back to a normal life. So I'm at the point where I'm 99.9% sure at the end of this year, I'm going to go ahead and elect to do the surgery. Get done. It's dude, you're literally walking the same day. As soon as the breastplate heals, where they crack you open, you can get back to doing whatever it is that you want to do, including lifting weights. So here I am. I'm like, you know me, I'm all in. I want to finish my motorcycle racing season. I want to, make sure Mia's birthday goes smooth, and then maybe even Christmas, and then we'll either do it at the end of the year or beginning of next year, and we'll be rocking and rolling. So I just got to get that out of the way so that you guys know that, as I'm talking about me not taking supplements or anything right now, I have to keep my blood pressure extremely low. It's one of the reasons that I went vegetarian as well, to keep blood pressure very, very low. And it's the reason that I'm just not in the gym right now, because I have been told not to. And I like longevity. I like the fact that, I can go do this. I'm in control. I can tackle it head on. And I can come back and go be me when this is all over. And you guys can watch me get back into shape, which I think will be really cool. But we got all this knowledge that we're going to drop on you. One other thing I want to talk about, guys, we're talking about, real food versus supplements. There's this thing with energy drinks that keeps popping up. And I see a lot of questions that people ask about energy drinks, especially on our intermittent fasting program, which is Savage Shred. And this is going to come up in Forge 5, which drops next month. Can I take energy drinks while I'm doing intermittent fasting? And this is kind of on the toplement.
That sounds like an actual word. It's on the supplement.
They took my job. Real food versus supplements. Anything with calories.
Can we go back and edit in the sound of a rooster? Because that would be so fun.
Well, I just go to South Park and get that. They took my job. Everybody asks about energy drinks, and I'm like, and pre-workouts. I'm like, guys, be super careful with this stuff. But specifically energy drinks, they have calories in them. Don't take them while you're intermittent fasting. The other thing about energy drinks...
they don't all have calories, but the ones that don't have calories usually have some sort of artificial sweetener that you do not want. Now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Do not want in your experience because of a whole bunch of other risk factors that I think we've done a podcast on before. So many,
but the long and the short of it is that your pancreas still responds to artificial sweeteners, and you still it still releases insulin,
and it's going to increase your hunger, so that sucks.
Here's the crazy thing, and it's one of the ways that I tell people, hey, here's how you afford to do our all access pass. If you don't think you can afford it, stop buying $5 energy drinks every fucking day when you go to the gas station to fill up your car on the way to work. I know guys that do 2-3 monsters a day. I mean, dude, Sean Smith, Priscilla went out to go pee, and I'm yelling at her through the hallway. But Sean does like 2 monsters a day. I hope he's listening to this, because this is some really crazy information. They're among the most commonly used dietary supplements in the nation. And according to the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, almost 1/3 of teens between 12 and 17 drink them regularly.
I remember one time I was with the youth group. We went snowboarding, and we decided to try No-Dos.
Oh, that was like, they banned that. It was basically ephedrine.
I remember we were all like totally dizzy, and then we all start throwing up, and we're like, this sucks. Maybe it was the altitude, but it was probably the No-Dos.
It was probably
we didn't sleep for like
pure
3 days.
In a capsule that you could buy at any gas station back
I
in the
know.
day.
We were like 12 too. How do they sell those to kids?
That's just crazy on your heart. Well, okay, so McGovern Medical School in Houston, they examined 44 non-smoking young and healthy medical students in their 20s, and here's what they found. There was an acute impairment in vascular function after just one energy drink. At baseline, your vessel dilation, so the dilation of your blood vessels, was on average 5.1% diameter. An hour and a half later, after one energy drink, the vessel dilation fell to 2.8% in diameter. Totally restricts your blood vessel flow, which in turn restricts oxygen and blood flow to the heart. So your heart has to work way harder and basically can lead to cardiac arrest after a single energy drink. There are tons of cases where kids and adults have gone into cardiac arrest from just one energy drink. It increases your blood pressure, coronary heart disease chance of stroke, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting rid of this page because Priscilla's fading off. The point is,
it's so boring.
It's super important because everybody's like, oh,
super
I want this.
Boring.
You know what?
I want to hear more stories about people that take them and their hearts explode. I want to hear actual legit stories of somebody who took an energy drink and they're like, oh no, like, tell me a story about that. Studies, schmutties. I'm throwing it on the ground
well,
too.
It's important that people
isn't
understand.
this how the Naked podcast started, where we start
throwing
throwing
shit on the
notes
ground.
and
and then we started throwing clothes off.
Have you guys heard that podcast? Just saying.
The Naked Truth.
The Naked Truth.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be about nutrition, but it turned out being about other things.
Well, what's important here is that we don't just make shit up on the podcast. I actually have to say,
no, we do
hey,
sometimes.
Here is the actual published medical study. Sometimes I make shit up that proves that these energy drinks can fucking kill you. So that being said, let's get on to some things that we can actually help you with. So real food versus supplements. And here's what I found. There are 4 things that I have found. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4 things.
You put the word shitty in our notes?
I did put the word shitty in our notes. Number 1.
You're fired.
Number 1.
You are fired, Mr. Tuft.
Supplements. And I'm using quotation fingers. Supplements. Quotation fingers. Supplement a shitty diet to begin with.
See these notes. If you've got Snap, seriously,
Here, I'll
we gotta snap. Like, who does this?
Where's my phone? Here,
oh my gosh, you're so adorable. I love you.
You know what's funny is that the face recognition won't work because my mouth is pressed against this. Here, Pete,
eat the mic,
snap
Gabe.
these. Here,
okay.
There, snap it. Okay, so supplements basically supplement a shitty diet. So somebody that already has a crappy diet to begin with, you're just adding more shit on top of that. The problem is that people are not eating to lose body fat. They're just trying to toss supplements in the mix, thinking that there is a magic pill or some magic powder that they can take in shake form that's going to get them to their goal. But in reality, they're still drinking their energy drinks. They're still having fast food. You're still not doing your meal prep. You're still eating out all the time. You're getting gas station food and bars and all these supplements that we're just talking about rather than having real food. And the real situation here is that there is a lack of knowledge about eating healthy and eating for your goals. And we talk about this a lot. Eating healthy is not the same as eating for your goals. Eating healthy is like, oh, I'm going to have, like me last night, I'm going to have an entire thing of asparagus, broccoli, red, yellow, green bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, and green beans with a little bit of curry.
Okay,
that's my dinner.
That was so good.
Yeah, it was fucking yummy.
I didn't even say thank you because I fell asleep while I was doing my full moon meditation, but I meant to say thank you.
Yeah, but if you
that was so good.
Cruciferous vegetables.
I licked the bowl.
Oh, I was like, no, you didn't. Oh, the bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You fell asleep. Eating healthy is
Things
totally
got
different
quiet
than
for
eating
an
for your
awkward
goals.
second.
You can find that happy medium, guys and girls. You can eat healthy and eat for your goals. You can have a shit ton of vegetables on a keto diet. That's what we always do. We would have tons of green vegetables to help the digestive process, but also to keep us healthy and balance the acidity.
And that doesn't mean you can eat all the vegetables ever and stay in ketosis, FYI.
No, but
you
can
still
have,
gotta follow your macros, dang it.
We do say unlimited green vegetables, though. And when we say unlimited, this is using common sense. It's not like, hey, eat an entire bag of fucking broccoli from Costco. That's not going to do it. You know, the average person in a meal can have a good handful of vegetables, and it's not going to affect them. What I'm getting at is that if you're eating for your goals, you've got to keep in mind the macros. And the rule of thumb is that if you're going to have carbs in your diet, you got to lower your fat intake. It's when you have carbs and fat at the same time that you put on body fat. If you have higher carbohydrate intake and way low fats, you're going to do okay. And the exact opposite is true. So keto diet is basically high fats, ultra low carbohydrates to virtually no carbohydrates. And we're not talking net carbs here because that's just a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, all right. Here's a fun little tip.
I love if you just stop me in the middle of my rant.
I know, I just let you. You're always ranting, darling.
But it's a good.
Would you like
rant.
to get into ketosis on day 1 instead of waiting the typical 7 to 11 days that it takes to get into ketosis?
Tell me more.
Oh, I'll tell you. You fast, no food, for 1 full day. Within 1 to 3 days, you will be in deep ketosis, and you can skip the waiting period. Now, do the programs as they are done, but I'm just saying, if you want to get into super rapid ketosis.
So you're telling me that if we do a 24-hour food fast, not water fast, obviously, because we need water. But if you're working out and stuff, you need. Well, okay, you did a 3-day dry fast where you didn't have any food or water. But for the average person, just to get into ketosis,
and by the way, I prepared for that very specifically. That was 2 podcasts away, so don't just do that.
Water would be acceptable on this.
That's it.
You're just saying no food for 24 hours.
No, none.
Do you work out?
You can. You can work out even the day before, and you will begin to empty out your glycogen stores. And then just chill. Just literally don't eat and just chill. And we'll have a program based on this because it's freaking brilliant. I have a book coming out in sometime within the next year and a half, working with publishers now. I have a call with an agent on Monday. This stuff, you guys, is so freaking cutting edge. And I love being the one to bring it to you for the very first time ever. What are you doing over there?
Well, I wanted to hit this last point. We were talking about a lack of knowledge. I'm cool with processed foods. I got to click that freaking thing. It was like a pop-up. I just trying to get rid of it.
Nobody wants your pop-ups.
We're talking about it being a lack of knowledge. And it's just one of those things where, like, we are bombarded by what people say will help you lose weight. And, here is a Men's Health article I found published yesterday, April 19th. How to lose weight without dieting. This is one of the problems, that people just want to lose weight. They never look at this. They never look at the body fat percentage. They just want to lose weight. So let's go look at the scale and see what the scale says. The scale is the biggest lie of them all, because you could be gaining muscle mass at the same time that you are losing body fat and having a complete physique transformation, but the scale may not be moving. This is why we have everyone check their body fat at least once a week, do their measurements, the whole 9 yards. And this is all explained in every single one of our programs. But when you're just concerned with weight, you get articles like this that we're bombarded with in one of the most well-known internet sites, fitness magazines, Men's Health, how to lose weight without dieting. And it's things like change the focus of your workout, sleep more. Because there's a study for everything, talking about how people that sleep more lose more body fat. The other heading is, when you're eating, just eat. Don't shovel a whole meal down in 20 seconds. Well, because you're doing, I get it. Like, these are good tips. Be slow. You don't have to chew each bite 100 times, but eat slowly so you digest.
Would you like to know the exact number of times that you should chew for digestion based on my nutritional state board exam?
I do, but hang on a sec. Eat healthy fat throughout the day. But what if they're eating a ton of carbs? I mean, this is the kind of bullshit that's all over the internet.
They're good basics.
These are terrible basics. This is just basically, this is what we call search engine optimization. This is content generation at its finest. And I'm just going to call this out. This is just putting an article out there to rank on Google so that when somebody looks up the term lose weight, it ranks and people go to their site and visit it, because this thing it's just a way to get you on the site. That's how people get this shit. And I mean, this is not good information, and it's everywhere, and it creates this lack of understanding on how to eat for your goals.
It's the seat of good information.
You are such a Nancy goody two-shoe.
Well, I'm just saying that people should chew, because I used to inhale my food, and
that is good information, yes.
I was less than desirable in the body fat levels.
What I'm getting at is that there is content that is literally pumped out just for the sake of putting out a new article, because new articles rank on Google, and that way they get more traffic to the site. That way they get more sales and more eyes and more branding. I get it.
Everybody raise your hand if you feel like Gabe is really being a negative Nancy.
I'm not being a negative Nancy.
Look at how big your feet are.
My feet are fucking gigantic. They're size 13.
We've never put our feet on the podcast table, but yet right now both of us have our feet on the podcast table. It's kind of funny.
Well,
Why are we doing
like a
that?
size 7 or something, right? And I've got a size 13.
Oh my God,
that's what, and
so
7 ladies.
Funny. Oh my gosh.
All right, so
you guys got to check out the snaps. It's so funny.
If you have a lack of knowledge, like most people, about how to eat properly for your goals, go get on one of our programs and we will teach you how to eat properly. And we'll give you those tips so you can walk away understanding what to do. And you've learned more than just what this stupid article says. Sleep more, chew more. You know, like, dude, that's not going to get you to lose weight if your diet still is just trash. It's not going to help. And taking supplements while your diet doesn't change isn't going to get you the promised land either. So the other thing that I found is that people have too many bars in their daily diet.
I used to live off bars thinking that they were so, again, EAS. It was right after my Myoplex days and right before I started competing. And I'm like, why is it so hard to keep body fat off? And why am I constantly craving sugar? And then I realized, oh, I'm eating these nutrition bars thinking that they're healthy. Even the healthiest ones are still dessert. Just so you know, like if you need a dessert and there's a healthy one, go enjoy it for dessert, but that is not food. You will stay chubby.
I mean,
just saying. It's better than a Big Mac.
It may be made with, normal ingredients, but you gotta remember it's got preservatives in it so that this thing can stay in a package.
What about the carbohydrates and sugars and, like you said, preservatives?
Here's a Quest bar, just a standard Quest bar. 21 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat, and 21 grams of protein. It's not terrible. But if you're trying to be in keto, it doesn't work. It's definitely not low fat.
If it says healthy, it doesn't necessarily mean healthy. Just like if you take a shower, that doesn't mean your feet are clean. You got to scrub them.
There's just too many bars in people's diets, and that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made. I was like, I don't want to do a shake.
I want to talk about feet. I want to talk about the fact that feet are not clean just because you get in the shower. You have to wash them.
True.
I think that a lot of people don't understand that.
Why are you looking at me?
Like just because because our feet are on the podcast table. I'm totally going to post this because our feet are on the podcast table, and I love it because we've never done this ever.
Well, I'm super comfortable kick back with my feet up on the podcast table.
Right? Isn't that adorable? We are so cute. I can't stand it.
The other thing that I want to talk about, number 3. So, number 1, don't use supplements to supplement a shitty diet. Number 2, too many bars in the actual diet during the day. Stay the fuck away from bars. Number 3, avoid quick fixes. Everybody's looking for that quick fix. And I hear this all the time. Better to eat something than nothing. And that is totally wrong. I'm going to slow down my metabolism. I got to get something. Or you feel your blood sugar drop and you're getting tired. I just got to eat something. I'm going to run to Panda Express or I'm going to run to Chipotle. No, that does not solve the issue. That makes it worse because you're not getting what you should be getting. You're not getting the proper amount of nutrients, the amount of protein, carbs, and fats that you should be having to get to your goal. So everybody out there who's, shoving a Chipotle burrito in their mouth as we speak, or you're in the McDonald's drive-thru as we speak, think twice, man. You could literally run over to Walmart and you could get everything you need in their fresh food section. They've got like pre-made, when I say fresh food, that's kind of the wrong term. But like when I'm at the track and I run out of food, which I don't really run out of food anymore because I have Trifecta. Hey, meal prep. We'll get to them in a minute. I would go to Walmart and I would just go look at the salads. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, look, here's a chicken salad. Or I didn't have to eat the chicken. Or I'd find, eggs, hard-boiled eggs they got there. The choices are there. You just have to know what to look for. And so if you're looking for the quick fix, you're just going to end up right back where you were before. So if you're in that McDonald's drive-thru, you're in the gas station, don't look for the quick fix. It goes back to proper preparation. The 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you are prepared, you won't have to go for those quick fixes. Okay, number 4. And the final one. Be consistent. Random meal frequencies is what's plaguing us. I get it. Everybody's busy. Things come up. Life happens. But if you are really trying to meet this physique goal and you're dedicated, let's say you on our All Access Pass, you're on that 7-day trial. And you want to get the most out of those 7 days. You spend a day watching the preseason videos. You kick off on day 2. You get to the gym. Dude, if you're skipping meals because you got busy at work and you forgot to meal prep, guess whose fault that is? Yours. If you didn't pack enough food, whose fault is that? Yours. If you didn't macro it out correctly, your fault. If you forgot your ice pack and your food isn't cold, whose fault is that? Yours. We have nobody to blame but ourselves for everything that happens. We are in full control, and I fully subscribe to this. We are in full control of every outcome that we face. If you get busy at work, you get stuck in a meeting. Dude, I was that guy.
This is high level stuff right now. And I hope that you guys are catching the vibration of this, because this is pivotal life information. When you stop blaming other people and holding other people accountable, you become independent and powerful. So ask, when am I blaming somebody else for the things that are not going right in my life? This isn't just fitness advice. This is life advice. This is work advice. This is career advice. This is entrepreneurial advice. Because 5 years ago, I was an entrepreneur that would blame somebody else for me not meeting my own goals, even though I was an independent entrepreneur. Let's grow up, guys. Let's do this thing.
Let's grow up. Let's do some adulting.
Let's pack our lunches. Let's put cold packs on. And if you can't pack your lunch, call Trifecta. We'll give you our code, 20% off. Done and done.
It's actually 30% off now. Body Spartan 30 will get you 30% off since they launched our official landing page.
Hey.
The trifectanutrition.com/Body Spartan will be redirected to trifectanutrition.com/Body-Spartan-30. I know it's long, but that's just the new landing page.
That's only if you want 30%.
It hasn't been redirected yet, but it will be there if you go to Body-Spartan-30. trifectanutrition.com/Body-Spartan-30. Enter the code BodySpartan30. You now get 30% off your first meal with Trifecta. They are amazing. They are the official meal prep company of the UFC, official meal prep company of the PGA Tour. Bradley Martin is one of their investors. I mean, he's on it like we're on it. They're our official meal prep company for a reason. They have keto stuff. They've got regular lifestyle. They got weight loss. They've got a la carte. If you use the a la carte menu, you can get your meals down to like $5 a meal because you can pick and choose exactly what you want. It's fucking amazing. And the food,
if you have allergies, they're going to take care of it.
They do.
They're
they take
amazing.
care of shellfish allergies, which I'm petrified of now because I just developed this new shellfish allergy 6 months ago. What I was getting at though is, most businesses are accepting of people eating while they work, especially if you're in the corporate world, or you can. It takes 2 minutes to shovel down a meal. And still chew enough. Like I could literally shovel down a meal in 2 to 3 minutes.
Chew it. Hey.
I would literally sit, pop open my Tupperware, just nom, 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 nom. Okay, I'm done. Let's go.
When I was a kid, my parents would say, chew, don't just swallow.
Well, and the other thing is too, people just feel weird when they're sitting there eating. I was that guy. Like when I was in college, I wanted it so bad. We were so poor that I would just buy cans and cans of tuna fish.
Remember the song? Bumblebee, 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 tuna. No.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love,
But even more, do you remember how bad tuna fish smells when you open it if you're not eating the tuna fish?
How bad does it smell, Gabe?
It smells like fucking tuna fish. There is no other way to say it. It smells like tuna fish.
He's been scarred.
And if you're not eating it and you're not
scarred.
excited about eating it, when you open that, imagine being in a classroom in college, a small one with, 35 people in it. And this dude in front of you just opens up his Tupperware and in it is a shit ton of tuna fish. The looks I got from everyone, including my professor, that I fucking hate you, Gabe Lowe.
Remember Brian Kelly with his catfish? We'd be like traveling from town to town with WWE, and Brian would open up his catfish, and I'd be like,
it'd be a Tupperware container with catfish in it that had. It wasn't even cold. It was like warm. It had been kind of sitting in the sun. It would be like catfish and rice. We're like, yo,
all
dude.
the strong smells.
But he didn't give a fuck, and he ate because he did his meal prep, and that's what he liked. He liked eating catfish. So the point is, you got to stop caring. Like I would just,
and he's always in great shape.
I would just walk into meetings, and they just knew, oh, Gabe's eating again. Like, yeah, that's what I do. But I was super efficient at what I did. I was good at what I did. So it's like, okay, well, dude, be good at what you do and then get your fucking meal prep done, So be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to hit your goals. And that has to do with everything. Everything, not just your meal prep, but I'm talking everything. Be consistent with your cardio in the morning because consistency is key. You build a routine. Be consistent when you go to the gym. Be consistent in finishing.
Don't be a little baby and be like, I slept in.
Well, that's why we have alarms.
And that's why we have second alarms, and that's why we have third alarms and fourth alarms. And if you don't wake up, it's your own fault.
Be consistent in the gym.
Just kidding. I've slept in before.
Be the person that does all the reps and then 2 more and train yourself to be consistent because once you are consistent, your brain recognizes these patterns and it's easier and easier to get into this. It's not a habit anymore. It's a lifestyle. That's what it breaks down to. So those are the 4. 1, do not supplement a shitty diet with supplements. 2, get the bars out of your fucking diet. 3, avoid quick fixes. And 4, be consistent and just fucking do your meal prep for crap's sake. Hey, is that my phone? I want to do something that we haven't done before right now.
Yeah.
I want to do a Facebook Live and I want to just open it up for questions. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. Podcast.
Wait, how long have we been?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter because we did a super long one and it was one of the most well-received one. It was the Johnny Walker podcast.
Yeah, but it was super entertaining. We got weird. We got huggy. Everyone's like, oh, it was like the sweetest little moment of all you guys. Like, all right, we're going to set it up on
I'm setting it up right now.
Facebook right now. And you guys remember, like, it matters so much more what you think about what you're eating and what you think about the supplements that you're taking than it really matters what supplement you're taking. The mind is a powerful place.
It's a super powerful place. Okay, hey, what's up, guys? So for everybody listening, we're just jumping on a Facebook Live right now so that we can actually ask some questions. We're in the studio with P. Diddy. Say what's up, P. Yo. We're in the middle of the podcast. It's I don't even know what episode we're on, but it's basically real food versus supplements. And what we're doing here, we're at the end of the podcast. We've now been podcasting for a long time. I can't actually see the timer. It's been about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And what I want to do is I want to open up our podcast to anybody that's out there on Facebook for questions. That way Priscilla and I can answer all your questions.
And if we don't like your question, we're going to ignore you and pretend like we didn't see it.
That's literally it. Yeah. So like Priscilla said, if we don't like your question, we're going to totally ignore it.
And here's our notes for the rest of the night.
I just think it'd be cool to do something totally different. We have been talking about real food versus supplements, which one is better. And of course, as always, we're leaning towards real food just because that's what the science says. And we don't always trust our supplements. What's up, De Leon Chris? What's up, brother? Just want to say that you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Everybody listening right now, we are doing the Facebook Live. All you Facebook Livers that are jumping on, we're finishing the podcast and we're opening it up for a live Q&A. That way, everybody listening has the benefit of hearing all the questions that you guys are giving it. That didn't make any sense that you guys are giving it. That's
I think they're good with it.
What's up, Andrew? So ask your questions. I'm going to let you guys jump on. This is a live Q&A. Ask about anything you want. We are talking about supplements versus real food, but please ask anything you want about any one of our programs. I'm going to go ahead and take this time to plug the All Access Pass.
Go ahead and ask anything you want about, does Gabe snore? Does he not snore? What is his morning routine?
I'm going to go ahead and plug the All Access Pass just so you guys know all of our future programs will be on the All Access Pass. Forge 5 coming out in May. Rev 2 coming out in June. Big Arm Bible 2, which we'll rename to something cooler than
Babs.
that. Babs 2 will be following shortly after that. Everything will be on the All Access Pass. 7-day free trial right now. Go to bodyspartan.com. Use the code AAP10 and you will get $10 off your monthly subscription. 7-day free trial. All right, guys. Hello, Facebook. Go ahead and ask your questions. I'm letting everybody jumping on right now. Chris Cannon, which program coming up will be vegetarian? Forge 5 is going to have vegetarian options in there for you guys because P and I are vegetarian. David Larson is vegetarian. In case you guys missed it, Brian Cage is also doing Forge 5. If you're just joining us, guys, we are here live on the podcast. This is going to go live tomorrow. P just stepped out, I think, to go pee. Funny, but we're asking you guys to drop your questions. So please drop some questions so that our podcast listeners have a chance to see what you want to know. Mike, what's up, man? Perfect timing. Waiting for the kids to go to sleep so I can hide some eggs. Oh yeah, tomorrow is Easter. I'm getting a lot of like what's ups and not a lot of questions, but I'm glad to have you guys here. What if you eat real food and take no supplements, but gain no weight? Arturo Gray. That means that you are not eating the right quantities of real food. So we just talked about this on the podcast. You're not eating for your goal. You're eating what you think is probably healthy and what you think might be your goal, but nobody has calculated those macros for you properly. It also has to do with your training style. So what you need to do, Arturo, is go get on our All Access Pass, get the 7-day free trial, eat real food with the macros that we give you that will be custom for you. So go to bodyspartan.com, jump on the 7-day free trial.
And when you jump on the 7-day free trial, make sure that you check out Unleashed because that is our bulking program.
Oh yeah, man. Arturo, if you want to gain lean mass, Unleashed is the one that you want to check out. What's up, Jay? What's up, Adam? Jeff Richardson, Chris Cannon. Oh, we already said hi to Chris. What's up, Chris? Hey, buddy. You know what? I love Chris. He's always on this. Always. Every Facebook Live. This dude is a trooper. Like hardcore Body Spartan. He's like the unofficial Body Spartan. I swear, he's been with us for so long. Questions, guys. Please drop your questions. Sarah McKenna Rogers. Which program is best suited for female bodybuilding? Priscilla, would you like to take that?
Depends on what phase of your program that you're in, my love. If you're looking to bulk, a lot of our girls like to start out with Unleashed. If you're looking to shred, Revolution is for you, my love. We have created a program that is mind-blowing. I'd almost wanted to have you check that out first because there is a subliminal hypnosis audio that you listen to at nighttime that will get you ready for on stage.
Well, there you have it. So the girls, if you want to bulk up, it's Unleashed. If you want to shred up, Revolution. And also, by the way, Rev 2 is coming. It is the sequel to Revolution 1. Rev 2, Christina Williams, our IFBB Pro, will be doing that one. It comes out in June, so it's be on the All Access Pass. Go to bodyspartan.com. Get your 7-day free trial of the All Access Pass. Ask your questions right now. We are live on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. See, when you jump on with them, all the fun stuff stops because like I'm watching your feet right now and you do this like little twirly pop thing, like where he does like something like that with his feet.
So it's this.
Yeah.
This.
No, that's not what you do.
This?
No, that's not what you do.
It's like
where you like hook them together and then they go apart.
I don't know.
Like
this? I don't know.
No, he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I honestly don't know. Like when I do it, you tell me.
Okay. So you don't even know. It's like a
questions.
tick. It's like a tick. It's like an excited tick with your toes. You used to do it when we first started dating.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, that's the thing. You got to show him.
You
have to show him. It's so
for
weird.
anybody listening on the podcast, I do this thing where I cross my big toe. Here,
no one
really
on
weird.
earth can do it.
I cross my big toe, and then I hook those two. It's like the ring finger and the middle toe together, and then I snap them. So it's 1, 2.
Okay, officially, everybody on the podcast, everybody on Facebook, if anyone else can do that toe trick,
I want to know.
I will purposely.
So strange.
I will personally send you the supplement of your choice.
Okay.
But I need to see it via video.
Yeah, you got to.
I need to authenticate the fact that you are that weird. But I love it that he's able to do that. I find it super fascinating, and I am a little bit lightweight jealous.
All right. Mike Barlow is asking thoughts on fasted cardio first thing in the morning. I swear by fasted cardio. Pretty much every competitor that I know does fasted cardio, and here's why. When you go to bed at night, you're done eating. You're literally fasting for 6 to 8 hours, so you have no excess sugars, glucose, anything floating around in your bloodstream when you get up and you do your fasted cardio. So that means not eating anything. You go to the gym, you do it at home, whatever. You're forced to use your own body fat as energy. So you're going to get way better results. So please, please, please do your fasted cardio. Jeff Richardson, sitting in an ambulance staging, but what's a good protein intake? P?
I mean, kind of depends on your personal macros. And when you jump on our All Access Pass, you can jump into a program that will get you results. Every single one of our programs is macroed out. So it'll tell you the exact amount of protein, the exact amount of carbs, the exact amount of fat that you personally need in order to reach your goals. Boom.
That's exactly it. So you got to think protein intake, roughly 1 gram of protein per lean pound of body mass. We always tell you to shoot for your goal weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to be 180 pounds, you need 180 grams of protein. There's a little more to it than that, but that's just kind of a good rule of thumb if you're trying to do that. And you got to be consistent throughout the day. And that was one of the things we talked about on this podcast was consistency with your protein intake.
And it does really matter what your end game is. It doesn't matter what your goal is. That's why every single one of our programs has a different set of macros. Thank you for all the love, you guys.
Yeah,
You're delicious.
We're getting tons of love here. We're live on the podcast. It's the end of the podcast. We're doing something
hearts
totally different.
Too. We see a lot of thumbs up, but you don't have to be coy. You can give us love. You can give us hearts.
Just think that you guys will be mentioned on the official Body Spartan podcast.
There's my hearts. Yeah.
Kevin Perino. I don't know if it's Perino
Here
or
come
Perino.
my hearts.
Look at all the parts. Look at that. You're just getting so much love. Look at that.
I'm giving you hearts.
I bet if you put your foot in the air like a one leg thing, you get a ton of love too. Like do the girl like yay! Look at that, everybody! Woo! Yay! Hearts! Look at all the hearts. I wonder if people on the podcast are just literally tuning out.
Freaking bored. They're like,
what the fuck just happened, man? Let's talk about intermittent fasting.
Should we close our podcast?
I mean, I can cut it anytime, but I think it'd be good to let it run because there's good questions here. Mike says, so my 8-hour window was always 11 to 7, so 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. during Savage Shred, but I wonder if that's hurting me since breakfast is so important. Absolutely not. This is great, guys. So the beauty of intermittent fasting, and this is one for you guys to all know, the beauty of intermittent fasting is that it does not matter when you have your feeding window. You will still get all the benefits. You can experience growth hormone increases of up to 5 times. You're going to lose massive amounts of body fat and you're going to gain muscle mass. Does not matter when your feeding window is. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. My feeding window, just so you know, Mike, when I was doing intermittent fasting was 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. That was mine. So fuck breakfast, dude. It doesn't matter. J. Hogue, any special plans for type 1 diabetic? What do you think, Pete? I'm going to tell him keto, but what are you going to say?
Definitely go for Genesis. We've seen some incredible results with those of you that are type 1 diabetes. In fact, you've come to us so many times with the same exact question. And definitely start with Genesis. That's going to be your best bet out of all of our programs.
Yeah. So Keto Diet, Jay, and just watch your refeed days. Keto is basically 0 carbs, so you won't have any insulin spikes. You won't have to deal with that. But watch your refeed days because you do need to have carbohydrates every now and then to get the glycogen back in your system. We recommend carbs that are low on the glycemic index, so complex carbs, wheat pastas, wheat breads, brown rice pastas, quinoa, etc. If you have any questions, please check with your doctor. Okay, Grant, best recovery supplement. Dude, Priscilla, you actually turned me on to this. Aside from just eating and getting your protein intake in, creatine is also great for recovery, but even better, glutamine. I love glutamine. Priscilla turned me on to this years ago, back when you had exclusive fitness.
When I was competing.
When you were competing. I was so sore after a leg day. I remember my legs would ache. P's like, have you tried 20 grams of glutamine? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I do 5 grams a couple times a day. And I started shoving glutamine down, and guess what? I recovered so much faster.
But another recovery technique that I like to use is magnesium. I get magnesium flakes. I get them on Amazon super cheap, and I stick them in my bathtub every single day after my workout. And it's an amazing detoxification agent, but it's also incredible for recovering sore and exhausted muscles.
There we go.
So I grab maybe a handful, maybe 2 handful magnesium flakes. You can also dump it into a bunch of water, shake it up, put it in a squirt bottle, and squirt it onto the sore muscles. And that is amazing. It's called magnesium oil, even though it's a kind of a liquidy thing. And you can just rub the muscle up towards the heart, and it'll drain the lactic acid, but also recover the muscles. That's my favorite right now. That and Epsom salts.
There we go. Hope that helped. Grant, Sean Defendi. I hope that's how we say the last name. I'm terrible. I'm slaughtering names, I can tell.
We kill last names.
Protein shake, in your opinion?
Oh, we were waiting for that.
I
say let's direct him to the podcast because we just covered that so deliciously.
We did.
And this is going to be up
tomorrow. I'll have it up on Easter. It'll be the Easter Sunday podcast. But you know what? I think we should talk about the best type of protein shake, because on the podcast, we didn't actually talk about that. We talked about doing real food instead of supplements.
Yours versus mine?
I swear by the egg white shake. I love the egg white shake, guys. And that's where I get, remember, your bioavailability.
I feel like you just cheated.
The BV of an egg is 100.
You just cheated.
Why?
He said, no, that is a protein shake. I was thinking protein powder. Was he meaning protein powder?
Fuck protein powder. Go listen to the podcast, guys.
But there's a couple of whole food protein powders that are vegetable based that I do swear by. I like Optimum Nutrition vegan protein, and I also like Vega or Vega. How do you say it? Vega.
I would think it's
and
Vega.
It's Vega Sport.
Vega Sport.
And that's 30 grams of protein per scoop, but the scoop is like this big. And so you're like, it's like totally dramatic, over dramatic. I would absolutely say egg white shake like Gabe did, but I thought he was talking protein powder. So I felt like that was kind of cheating. Do you guys feel like that was cheating on the answer?
I don't think I cheated. What?
I mean, that's what we have.
No. Wait. I'm just giving the straight up answer. Wait, hang on. I'm giving the straight up answer.
And the Optimum Nutrition vegan protein, those are my 2 favorites for powder.
Okay, for powder. But for real food, go with the egg white shake. And here's what I would do. I put a cup of the liquid egg whites that you get from Costco, the Kirkland brand. They come in like they look like small milk containers, or like that big. I put a cup of those in the blender. Mm-hmm. And then I would do, if you're doing carbs, throw in some oats, and then a little bit of Truvia, and then a little bit of cocoa powder, a ton of ice, and a tiny bit of almond milk, guys. And then you got a medium carb, ultra low fat protein shake, almost 0 fats in that.
Who wants my recipe?
If you're doing keto, ditch the oats and drop a bunch of almond butter in there, and you're good to go. Like, that is my favorite shake. If you're going to do a real food shake, that's the way to go. Now, Priscilla's over here talking about her recipe.
Okay, so I happen to love Shakeology. So I'll grab a scoop of Shakeology, which will make your shake taste delicious. It's Beachbody's whole food shake. So it's got like 10 vegetables.
It's their brand, right?
Exotic. Yeah, it's their brand. And I like the chocolate one. The chocolate is the most delicious. Either vegan or regular, they taste totally different. And then I grab the egg white shakes, or the egg whites. And then I grab 2 handfuls of spinach, like that much. This much, maybe.
Yeah, that works.
Maybe about this big. And I dump it in. And then I grab this much ice, like maybe that much ice. And then all together, I shove it in the Vitamix and I go to work for me, baby. And then I push that button and the most amazing shake comes out. And everything that I don't eat, I stick into little popsicle molds, and then I stick popsicle sticks into it, and then I pull it out, and it's a popsicle, and I give them to my kid when she comes home from school, they're delicious.
We just lost 30 viewers. Do the leg thing. I want to see if it brings it back.
Oh, what's the leg?
The girl leg thing. That, hey, I'm a girl. Hey. Yay. Does that bring the viewers back? I just want to know. All right, so we're live on the podcast. We're finishing up the podcast. Yep, there we go. It just jumped to like 30.
People don't jump on like predicting that my leg's going to go up in the air. Oh my goodness.
That's awesome. So, okay, so sex does sell. I was just curious.
Oh my gosh.
I bet they're all like, yo, the naked podcast, is that happening? No, it's not happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're finishing up the podcast episode. We were doing
Have
real
you guys
food.
Seen the naked podcast? Oh my gosh.
No, you need listen to the naked. I know.
Right now. They're like, whoa.
We're finishing up the podcast episode that goes live tomorrow. It was real food versus supplements. We're taking live questions because I think it'd be a great thing to put at the end of some of the podcasts. It's totally new. We're doing it right now. Michael Boatwright, having a really hard time seeing gains in my biceps. Anything I can do to spur some growth with a quickness. Babs. The Big Arm Bible. Dude, we do so many tricks in the Big Arm Bible. We basically wrote down what we did in 30 days when we went to go work out with CT Fletcher about a year ago. And Brandon Howard and I basically gained an inch on our arms in 30 days. And we wrote down everything we did. And it's a bunch of different training techniques you guys have never seen.
Wait a minute.
What?
I just realized it looks like I've got no pants on.
That's why I'm holding it just like this.
You are
I'm a dick, I know.
It totally looks. Does it look like give me a thumbs up if it, well, I guess, or like a thumb sideways if it looks like I've got no pants on. Does it look like I have no pants on to you guys?
Right there, it looks like you're not wearing pants.
Oh my gosh.
But wait, she's got shorts on.
I have shorts on, but I guess they're like...
And here come all the hearts.
We did not plan to do a Facebook Live, so like I'm
totally
sitting here
random.
looking like an idiot right now with no makeup on, crazy hair, and no pants.
Yep. So
Gabe's not wearing any pants either.
The Big Arm Bible is now included in the All Access Pass. Go get your 7-day free trial, bodyspartan.com. Use the code AAP10, short for All Access Pass 10. AAP10, free trial, bodyspartan.com, All Access Pass. The Big Arm Bible's there. A couple more questions, and we're going to close this up. Hey, this is a good one. Michael Strickland, is tofu harmful to the body? Heard a lot of mixed feelings. No. I ate a ton of tofu.
No.
And we did a ton of research on this. David Larson, our IMBA pro, who was the creator of Savage Shred, him and his girlfriend Alicia, dude, they presented some really cool scientific evidence. You would have to eat like, dude, I think it's like 10 or 15 pounds of tofu a day to have any negative effects. There was all this talk about estrogen and stuff in soy, and it's not true. You can eat a shit ton of tofu, get all your protein from it, and you're going to be totally fine. It will not kill your gains. So the answer is no.
May I, please?
Yes, please.
You're always going to get controversy on this show.
Right about there.
Okay, you do what you...
no pants. No pants, Priscilla. Go ahead.
You do what you got to do, my love. So for me, if I eat any tofu, I don't feel great. I really don't. I feel like my energy is lowered. It's just not the food for me. So it's really important that you're constantly intuitively eating. So if something doesn't feel right for you, don't eat it. And if something feels amazing for you, eat it. Because for Gabe, he loves tofu, and tofu is an amazing source of protein for him. I wish I could eat tofu, but for some reason it just doesn't digest right. It makes me feel bloated. So listen to your own personal dialogue that's going on and make your choices from there as well.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
All research aside.
Couple more questions before we wrap up this podcast here. Billy Nelson. So at 53, I'd like to do a novice physique show in October or next April. Dude, good job, man. Cool.
Woo.
What program would you recommend? Have done Genesis and G2. I love real food, protein, and supplements. Help. What supplements already takes? Okay. So right off the bat, I would say go do Ignite. First of all, the Ignite is the 28-day reboot that's going to just totally shred you up super fast. And then when you're done with Ignite, jump on Savage Shred. So there is literally 4 months of training for you. But
the only question is if he needs to do a bulking phase. And if you do need to do a bulking phase, you're definitely going to want to jump on Unleashed as well.
Yeah, but if we, that's a good point, man. It depends on where your body fat is. Really good point, Priscilla. Really good point.
But the good thing is we're doing all access pass. This is for a limited time, you guys. So we're going to grandfather you in. Our CP is going to kill us if we do this for too long. I'm just saying. But right now we're offering an all access pass, which means that you can get every single one of our programs at the same time for one price each month. So that's what I would do if I was you and I was getting ready for a competition.
Okay, I'm scrolling way down. I'm skipping over some of the stuff because I want to see people get some answers.
And by the way, we have 56 and 58-year-olds that have jumped on stage this year, like 4 or 5 that I can think of right off the top of my head that have jumped on stage using our programs. So definitely it can work for you too.
There you go. Here we go. Jonathan Daniels. How do you guys stay motivated? I love to work out. I love the feeling of being sore after a workout, but all the eating is what always shuts me down. I get tired of eating all the time. So how do you stay motivated? Dude, you need to go listen to this podcast. We talked about real food versus supplements, but staying motivated starts with knowing your why. I'm losing my voice, guys. It starts with knowing your why. It starts with understanding why you're doing this in the first place. I'm going to sip some water. Priscilla, take over.
And I'm also going to say that a lot of it has to do with mindset. Because if you think that you're a little guy, you're always going to be a little guy. But if you need to grow, imagine yourself as you will be. And you will become it so much faster because what you focus on grows.
Well, I'm focusing on something right now. I can't tell you how extremely... What's the word that we use? It's a... Anyway, you guys know where I'm
respectful.
Going with that. Yeah,
you're so extremely respectful.
Anyway. Basically, staying motivating is knowing your why, having that plastered all over your fucking house on your lock screen of your phone. Get that shit done, and then replacing all the negative input. So anything that comes into your brain on a negative on the daily that's negative. So your social media.
And sometimes sometimes it is contrived. Is that the word? Contrived.
Contrived
in the brain. And you're constantly telling yourself, you're just the skinny guy. You're just the dork in school. Then you will always be the skinny guy. You'll always be the dork in school. So program your mind to say, I am capable. I am powerful. Take a look at Gabe's before pictures. Actually, I don't think you've ever posted those, but you guys, Gabe gained
170-something pounds, 178 pounds.
Gabe gained 100 pounds since high school. And I've lost 100 pounds.
Well, now I'm back down at 230 right now. So I had gained and then I lost weight.
Well, you happen to have a serious heart condition where your doctor told you can't work out since November. So
by the way, I get surgery at the end of the year and then next year I can start lifting weights again. Yay, heart surgery. Woo.
But I mean, have it in your mind and watch stories, listen to stories, read stories of people that have been successful doing what you want to do. And it's done.
But staying motivated is really a matter of controlling the input. So whatever comes into your brain on a daily basis. So ditch the TV, ditch the negative social media. Start listening to on a daily basis motivational videos, motivational podcasts like the Body Spartan podcast. Hey,
I just thought of something that we kind of passed over. He's like, I'm eating. I get discouraged because there's so much eat. What are you eating? If you're on Unleash, you're eating clean and you're not going to feel like garbage. You're not going to get sick of eating because there's a lot of variety. But if you're eating McDonald's and ice cream and frustrated because your belly feels sick and you're eating too much, that's a completely different story. Yep. So make sure that when you're eating to gain and eating to bulk, that you're eating high quality foods and you're going to feel good.
There you go.
Because honestly, there is a brain inside your gut. And it is going to be constantly telling you what it thinks about what you're eating. I mean, we gave our daughter, what was that ice cream you gave her? It was like green or blue or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I took her to Cold Stone out of the blue. She had the pistachio ice cream.
And she's like, oh, Mommy, I just feel sad. I don't know why.
She doesn't get food dyes ever, and like the dye between the regular cow's milk, which we never give her. We always do
and
like
the
coconut
sugar,
ice cream,
which we never give her.
Sugar she never gets, but so she had not only did she have cow's milk, but she had dyes like food dyes and sugar. She was just a mess. So.
And so she's crying, and she's like, I can't think of one single reason that I'm sad, but I feel terrible. I feel sad right now. Why do I feel sad? And intuitively speaking, I look inside her body and I could see her gut was very upset. And understand, your gut has a brain of its own. It's got its own set of hormones that are separate from your entire body. And it's constantly going to be telling you what it thinks about what you ate. So if you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're discouraged, if you're lonely, and you're having these out of control emotions, make sure that you're eating for the emotions that you want to have. Eat like a billionaire.
All right.
Fresh food from Earth.
We're going to take about 2 more questions, and we got to wrap up this podcast.
You just said that. We just took our 3 questions after you said 2 questions.
I found 2 more that I really want to get to because they're rad.
Because we have other things that we're going to do.
Well, if you wouldn't go off on tangents for 10 minutes, we could get through these.
I'm sorry for making it interesting.
Foot thing. Girl foot thing.
No.
Got to give viewers. Go.
How about this girl foot thing?
Do it. Do the girl foot thing.
Oh, you do the girl
double
foot thing.
tap, guys. Throw some love if you want to see the girl leg thing that she does.
Double,
like seriously,
double
put the hearts
tap.
up. If
double tap if you want to hear me say brilliant
and
inspiring things.
No, I want to see the leg thing. I want to see it. See, look, here they come. Here they come. Thumbs up.
Now give me
you
hearts.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Give me hearts if you want delicious wisdom and brilliance.
So
ooh, there's the heart. See?
So
yeah, baby. Look at all the hearts compared to the
leg
thumbs
and
up.
give them delicious brilliance and wisdom all at the same time.
Why don't you give them the leg and I will give them delicious brilliance?
Okay, anyway, so I guess, you know what? You're just going to disappoint everybody.
I feel proud of myself.
Disappoint.
I feel good about me.
Disappointing. All right. Jeremy Fulton. Me and my girlfriend.
Privately, I'll give you the leg later. How about that?
I'll take that.
More hearts.
Me and my girlfriend have this ongoing argument. Should you eat any carbs after your evening workout before bed? Great question, Jeremy. Thank you for asking that. And the quick answer is it depends on what your goals are. If you have carbs in your diet, I'm trying to get this so you can see. If you have carbs in your diet, like on Savage Shred, yes, totally fine to eat before bed. But if you're doing a keto diet, absolutely not. You got to eat for your goals. You cannot just eat to be healthy. If you're on Unleashed, it's our lean mass gain program, yes, carbs before bed is totally fine. It just depends on what you're doing. So look at your macros. Keto, no. Unleashed, mass gain, yes. Savage Shred, intermittent fasting, absolutely. Hope that helped. If you're not on any of those programs, go jump on them. It's our all access pass, has every one of our programs. Bodyspartan.com, 7-day free trial on the all access pass. AAP10.
Speaking of pass, you guys are going to need to listen to this podcast, which we are launching tomorrow because we totally talked about passing gas.
Oh, there was a lot of fart
and that's kind of fun. And so I feel like if for any reason at all you are not listening to the podcast tomorrow, there might be a problem. And you might want to have that looked at.
I am looking for...
The last question.
Yo, is that Fuzzy Mike? Oh, that's Matthew Castro. I thought that was Mike Castro.
So those of you that are on the podcast, we apologize for the wait. And I know that you are just busting with questions. So jump on all the social medias. Join us on Facebook, Snapchat. Ask your questions. It's a little too late now, but you can join the fun over on
I'm looking
Facebook.
For one final question here
/Bodyspartan because we put fun stuff there.
Okay, so I mean we've covered all this in the podcast. I think
I feel like sayonara because we have a really fun date night tonight, and I'm about to get all cute and enjoy the night with my husband.
All right.
So y'all are gonna have to go night. And we're going to go play.
All right. So
just say it.
That is the end of the Body Spartan podcast. Everybody following us on Facebook Live right now. Please, 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 by all means, listen to the podcast. It's going to go live tomorrow on Easter Sunday. I'm going to go edit it right now. This is what I do on my Saturday nights. We podcast and then I edit for an hour.
I have other plans for you, darling.
Well, I got to get it up tomorrow. The podcast has to get up. Other things can get up tonight. We're going. What I want you guys to do, check out bodyspartan.com. Get the all access pass. Free 7-day trial. We got that right now. AAP10 is the code for a 33% discount on your monthly price after that. Forge 5. Brian Cage is now heading up Forge 5. That comes out in May. Rev 2 in June. Big Arm Bible 2, which will be renamed to something cooler. to follow. We're promising you guys at least 4 programs a year.
Ooh.
Plus a Spartan Army.
Question.
I thought we were done.
Actually, no. Are you running a special for Easter?
No, I'm not.
So screw you guys. Happy Easter.
It's
Screw
the
you.
all access pass or bus, guys. This is how it is. Bringing you the best value.
Well, we are giving the 7-day free pass for tomorrow.
If you have any questions about why we're doing the all access pass, go listen to this podcast. We talk about why we're doing it and the value that it brings. It's an amazing value. Just listen to the podcast. The podcast is awesome. All you podcast guys, that's it. We're out. For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.